Alright guys, we're back again today taking a look at the Cyberpunk 2077 McFarlane Toys Johnny Silverhand, who is played by Keanu Reeves. So very cool. Let's take a look at the packaging first. Set this guy off to the side here, my little table. Very nice packaging. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the figures. The design of this packaging is just absolutely fantastic. Cyberpunk 2077 with the black and like blue coloring. Very cool looking. Johnny Silverhand at the bottom, you can see 14 and up it says, not a toy. I love that. Top you can see McFarlane Toys and a little window looking down on the figure. And in the back of the packaging they have a bunch of kind of like graffiti and posters in the back. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but it's there. On the side you can see Cyberpunk 2077. On this side you can see Johnny Silverhand, CD Projekt Red, and then McFarlane Toys at the top. You can see their little logo that looks like Spawn. And some art of the two characters that they've released, Johnny Silverhand and V, or 5. I don't know what he's going by, probably just V. The game looks really cool though. I don't know a lot about these characters, but I read a little bit about the game, and it looks amazing. I definitely will be getting it when it comes out. So yeah, 7-inch action figures, cool art. At the bottom you can see hashtag McFarlane Toys, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. McFarlane Toys, McFarlane.com, 22 moving parts. And then on the bottom you can see the barcode right there with a number above. Get some light on that so you can see it. Just in case anybody wants the barcode, I'll focus in on it here. There's the barcode. So for its accessories, first it comes with this little hand here, which has very like soft plastic fingers. This pinky's kind of warped, but not much you can do about it aside from maybe use a blow dryer. It's very nicely sculpted, looks really good. It's a very nice metal color. And to take it on and off, you can just slide this hand off here, which is also very nicely done, just to hold his guitar. And then, I don't know if you guys can see that very much. It's a little tough. And then you can just pop this hand on, very easy. The peg on the wrist there is huge, but it just slides on super easy. It looks really dope. Very nicely proportioned and matches with the arm. Very nice. The next accessory you get is this little glass drink here, which is very cool. It's kind of a softer plastic up on the top for this little cap here. And then it's just a very translucent plastic, and it's red. It looks very cool. And as you can see, it fits in Johnny Silverhand's hand very nicely. Then lastly, he comes with this little 6-string electric guitar, which is very dope, man. Very nicely sculpted and designed, just cool looking all around. Very nice paint apps on here with the silver, and then like a matte on this part of the guitar, and then a glossier black with stickers all over it. Even the silver strings are painted all the way down. It's not just plastic. So really a lot of detail went into this. It's very nicely done. And it also does come with this strap here that says Samurai. Very nice, soft, rubbery kind of plastic. Can really fit around him well. And you can see here it has 2 little holes in it, so it can hook on the guitar as it would on a real electric guitar. So that's very cool. So you can just kind of pop these on here. They fit on there very well. And then you can put it on Johnny Silverhand. Okay, so when you're doing this, what I do is I put the strap on first. I just kind of slide it under his arm, over it, and then over his head a little bit. You can see it fits on there really nice. And you can do a lot of different poses. This hand he comes with, the hand that actually he has on the packaging, holds the guitar really well, as you can see. So that looks cool. And then it just kind of looks like he's strumming the guitar. You can do all kinds of fun positions with that. Here's just one of the poses. This is probably my favorite pose to put him in, so it really looks like he's shredding up a guitar. Very nice, man. He just holds the guitar very well. Looks like he's playing it. Would have been cool to have an extra hand that has like a pick in its hand or something. But yeah, I haven't even seen the game yet. Maybe he doesn't use a pick. However, most people usually do. So it would have been cool to have an extra hand that holds a pick or something like that, just to add that realistic kind of effect. But otherwise, it just looks fantastic, man. Very cool. And I mean, in the art they provided for the figure to McFarlane, maybe he wasn't holding a pick or something. But otherwise, it's a great figure, man. I would have included maybe an extra head sculpt that's smirking or something, even though this guy kind of looks like he has a bit of a smirk, maybe. Not really. But it's a very nice guitar overall. Looks cool. And in case you don't want him to really be playing the guitar and you want to do something different for your photography or whatnot, you can also just have him holding the guitar in that hand, and it fits just fine. The last accessory Johnny Silverhand comes with is a stand, which is usually provided by McFarlane and all their figures. And it's one of my favorite things about the McFarlane figures is that they have that kind of courtesy to put a stand in, because they know you're going to display them like a collectible. So I absolutely love that, one of my favorite parts. You can see here it says Cyberpunk 2077 model Johnny Silverhand. Let me get my camera to focus here so you guys can read that. Hopefully you can. So very cool. And the peg does fit on his foot really well. Pretty snug there. So honestly, this figure in my opinion is, dude, one of my favorite figures McFarlane has ever done. I'll say that right off the bat. The proportioning of the body and the likeness to Keanu Reeves is just, dude, it's phenomenal. The articulation is really good for the most part. I only have 2 complaints with this guy, really. The first one being that there's no articulation in the bicep, so you can't really do any rotation. You can here at the forearm, but there's some soft plastic cords here attaching from the tricep down to the forearm, so you can't really rotate anything without ruining those. So that's a bummer. That's one big complaint. And secondly is this arm just feels under-sculpted. It definitely is like proportioned well, and it looks like an arm obviously, but it's just kind of under-sculpted. I feel like they could have put a little more muscle definition in there or something. But otherwise, there's really not much to complain about. I think this is one of my favorite figures McFarlane has ever made, honestly. At least out of the ones that I own. He's a very, very nice figure. So first off, let's take a look at his head sculpt. So here's a look at the face sculpt. It's Keanu Reeves, obviously. Has a very nice piece here, sculpted hair. It's very soft plastic, too. That way it doesn't get in the way of the articulation, even though it still kind of does, to be honest. But it's a very nice soft plastic. It's sculpted, molded, whatever, really, really well. The glasses are also softer plastic too, so they kind of move. And those look really, really nice as well. Very nice red color. And honestly, it just looks a heck of a lot like Keanu Reeves, man. They did a very nice job with it. All of this is just sculpted very nicely. The hair and the face and the beard look very cool. So all in all, a very nice head sculpt. So all throughout this figure is some really nice sculpting work, man. You get a really nice like SWAT looking vest here with some dog tags, which are painted really well. I don't even see any paint bleeding off here onto the actual vest. It all looks like it's exactly where it needs to be. Some nice different stickers or whatever is on there. It looks really cool. You get also on this arm here you can see G200. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but we'll find out more about this guy once the game comes out. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. But otherwise, the sculpting and the paint on here is really nicely done. On the back, you can see a nice symbol here. It says Samurai. I'm curious to see what all that means. Very, very cool. And then one of the best sculpted parts about this guy is his arm. Look at that robotic arm, dude. It's absolutely fantastic. The articulation might be kind of wonky on it, but God, it looks absolutely amazing. I love the sculpt of that arm and the paint work. Nice red throughout there, black, just a nice silver, like gray going throughout the metallic here. But no articulation, no swivel, kind of a bummer. However, it just looks really nice. I love that red, like seeping through the different metal and the wires and shit. That looks very cool. And then he also has some tattoos here. I can't really tell what that is. That's like a... What the hell is that, man? I cannot tell what that is, but that looks really cool. Very nice. Cool tattoos on him. Otherwise, his hand also has some rings here, so that's a nice little touch. Get that to focus there so you can see the rings. Nice silver paint here and some more tattoos of what looks like a dragon or a snake or something. Very cool. Some tattoos inside of his palm as well. Just kind of wrapping all the way around his hand. So that's very nice. The other part of this guy that really is cool, dude, is these legs. One thing that McFarlane does that I will always say I absolutely love is over these like pelvic kind of parts of their body, they always put a soft plastic here. So it really blends in nicely. You can see they have a soft plastic piece here over the crotch. And a nicely sculpted belt, dude. It almost looks like bullets or something. I don't think it is, but it looks really cool. All those different lines on his belt. Very badass. But I love that soft plastic here. It just looks great. Doesn't get in the way of the articulation at all. Very, very fantastic, man. And I love how when you pose him, you can see it kind of stretch with the legs, so it really looks like pants, dude. Very cool. But it's just a nice sculpt all around. The paint on this, it's like the same color as the brick in the back here. It's like almost like a reddish kind of brown, and it has like a nice black wash down the lower legs, and it's just really nicely sculpted, man. It is clean as hell. Very nicely sculpted. Almost has kind of a leathery look though, because it's a bit glossy. But aside from that, it's just, wow, man. Really, really nicely done. However, the articulation isn't really well hidden in the sense that when I bend it, there is no wash throughout the joint here. You can just see this smooth ass joint. But we do have double jointed knees, so whatever. Very cool. And then the last part of this guy that's just a really nice touch is these boots, dude. They're almost like cowboy boots. They look so badass. And they don't really hinder the way he stands. He stands very nicely. Just really clean paint job. Nice silver here on like the laces or the straps or whatever. And it's just a really nice sculpt. You can see it adds some height to him there. So very, very cool. I love those boots. All around, this guy just has a fantastic sculpt. Very, very nice paint. Except for on the back of the leg here, you can see they sculpted some of that, some of the wrinkles in his suit, but still like not really painted much. But I mean, it was $25. So for $25, this is definitely a really nice collectible adult action figure. It is very cool, and I definitely recommend it. One of my favorite McFarlane figures to come out, honestly. And obviously he is in the 7-inch scale, so here he is next to Scorpion from the Mortal Kombat McFarlane line. Here he is next to the Arkham Batman from the McFarlane DC Multiverse line. And here he is next to Joker from the DC Essentials, from the DC Collectibles company. They're a line of DC Essentials figures. And then here he is next to two NECA figures, the Alien from the first Alien movie done by Ridley Scott, fantastic film, and then Freddy Krueger from the NECA movie line of figures, horror figures, and he fits right in. It looks absolutely fantastic. And then lastly, here he is next to Captain America from the 80th anniversary wave of Marvel Legends, and he is not in scale with Marvel Legends. So for the articulation, he looks down pretty far. He doesn't look back too far. He can go side to side. He does have a nice neck pivot. His arms go up pretty far, down, forward, all the way around. There is a butterfly joint in there. There's a bicep swivel on this side, but not on the electronic arm, which is a bummer. It is a single joint too, and is hindered by some soft plastic pieces here at his elbow. However, this arm is double jointed, so that's very nice. And there is a ball joint in the wrist, so you can get him in quite a few different poses. His wrist hinged in different directions, so that's very nice. And I'll show you here. You just kind of tilt it down. You can do all kinds of different things. Showing you his rings. Cool. And then there is a swivel here at the waist, a soft plastic piece, and the paint is all consistent throughout. A lot of soft plastic here. You can see it's like connected to his pelvic piece there. So he goes back pretty dang far, can go forward very far, but it really exposes that piece of articulation there, so that's a bummer. But if you don't put him back, ooh, that's really annoying actually. Goddamn. But you can probably put him back down about that far without exposing that articulation. That's a bummer. And it does serve as a swivel too. You can rotate him. There is no waist articulation just right here at that swivel. And it's like a snapping joint. You can hear some squeaking that makes you kind of want to grind your teeth, so that's annoying. And then his legs go out very, very far. So you could have him kicking people. Very cool. There is a tiny bit of rotation in his thigh, tiny bit of swivel, but not much. His legs go forward very, very far, farther than most figures. Look at that shit, man. That's incredible. And then it does go back very far. That's another thing about the soft plastic piece. You can really have him kicking his legs back far, but you can see that articulation inside, so that's a bummer. He does have double jointed knees, which both joints work very well. Works awesome, but still, it really exposes the articulation, so that's a bummer. And it doesn't look like there's any paint rubbing or anything, so that's nice. And then there is no swivel otherwise down the leg. There even kind of is in the boot a tiny bit. It's a little bit restricted because of these pants, so that's a bummer. But there is a bit of an ankle pivot, not much at all really though. And there is a hinge, but oh, look at that. Is it on a ball joint? Yeah, there is a ball joint in there as you can see. But I feel like I'm going to pop the foot off here, so you can kind of move it forward and back, but not a whole ton, mainly because of those pants. And then there is a hinge in the toe that goes back incredibly far on both feet. So that's really cool. Alright guys, so honestly this is probably one of my favorite figures McFarlane has released, and personally I would buy him again if I had the chance. He's such a fantastic figure. His details are amazing, just all throughout the little details from the ring, the tattoos, all these different wires, and that robotic arm, man, all the wrinkles. I could go on forever. The guitar is great, the accessories are cool, and the likeness to Keanu Reeves is phenomenal, in my opinion. I love all of it. It's just a really great piece of art, man. So with that said, I hope you go out and buy this figure. I hope you buy the game, because it looks like a hell of a lot of fun. We'll see how it is. Comes out in September, I believe, early September. I don't remember the exact date. But it looks fantastic, and this is an awesome figure. So, great work from McFarlane. I definitely recommend buying it. And I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked the review. I hope it gave you some insight into what this figure's like in hand. And I hope you buy him yourself. That said, please like the video, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Those handles will be in the description below. And again, I appreciate you viewing, and most importantly, keep collecting. Peace.